Hello, boys and girls, and we're back with another English language lesson for grade 7. And today, we want to look at comprehension. But we want to look at comprehension as it relates to poetry. Now, I'm Sir Jared, and I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Take a deep breath as we dive into the world of poetry. All right. So today, we want to look at the poem Vacation Time by Frank Hutt. What is the name of the poem? Vacation Time, and it's written by Frank Hutt. Now, I want you to listen. If possible, you can even close your eyes, and I want you to listen as this poem is being read to you. I'm going to read it 2 times, and then we'll have some questions to follow. But just before I even read it and we go into the questions, let's do a quick recap on some of the things that we would have discussed when we first looked at comprehension. Let's remember that with comprehension, we have implicit and explicit questions. All right? So with the implicit questions, this is where the meaning is implied. And we have to read between the lines. We have to use the words given to come up with a meaning. And then we have explicit questions. These are the questions where the answers can be found right in the poem. You can identify it in one of the lines. All right? Now let's dive into the poem. Goodbye, little desk at school, goodbye. We're off to the fields and the open sky. The bells of the brooks and the woodland bells are ringing us out to the vales and dells. To meadowways fair and to hilltops and cool, goodbye, little desk at school. Goodbye, little desk at school, goodbye. We've other brave lessons and tasks to try. But we shall come back in the fall, you know, and as happy to come as we are to go. With ever a laugh and ever a sigh, goodbye, little desk, goodbye. So we are going to read this poem one more time, so I want you to listen. So when we go to the questions, you can remember something from it. All right? Let's go back from the top. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye, little desk at school, goodbye. We're off to the fields and the open sky. The bells of the brooks and the woodland bells are ringing us out to the vales and dells. To meadowways fair and to hilltops and cool, goodbye, little desk at school. Goodbye, little desk at school, goodbye. We've other brave lessons and tasks to try. But we shall come back in the fall, you know, and as happy to come as we are to go. With ever a laugh and ever a sigh, goodbye, little desk, goodbye. All right, so that poem has some nice rhythm inside of it. All right, so let's dive into the questions. Are you ready? Let's go. Number 1. What do you think is the mood of the children in the poem? What do you think is the mood of the children in the poem? Now, after hearing that poem being read to you twice, how do you think these children are feeling? What kind of emotions do they have? All right. Now we see that the children in the poem are happy and very excited. And I'm going to ask another question. Why are they happy and excited? They're happy and excited because it has come to the end of another term. And it's time for them to go on their vacation. Now, and we see this coming out in line 10. And as happy to come as we are to go. So we see that they are very excited. And I'm thinking you can relate. When it's the end of a term, you're always so excited, whether it's Christmas, Easter, or August, you're always so excited because what? You'll have all of these weeks home to do whatever you want. Next question. Select the lines which show the children's love for freedom in nature. Select the lines which show the children's love for freedom in nature. Can you think of another line or a few lines? Can you remember any? Where we see freedom in nature, these children are feeling free? Now we have lines 2 and 5. They show the children's love for freedom in nature. Now let's see what line 2 and 5 says. We're off to the fields and the open sky. So you could imagine, and when they say fields, I get a sense like it's Easter time, and they're going to do what? They are going to fly their kites. And some people don't even wait until Easter to fly their kites. Next line, line 5, to Meadoway Fair and to hilltops and cool. So they're going to go and play out in the field. They're also going to go on the hilltop where it's cool. They're going to go play in the meadows and have a good time. So these children seem to be very adventurous. Next question. Which line in stanza 2 of the poem shows that the children love adventure? Which line in stanza 2 of the poem shows that the children love adventure? Can you remember a line that shows us that the children love adventure? No, the line that shows the children love of adventure is this line where it says, we've all the brave lessons and tasks to try. We've all the brave lessons and tasks to try. So we get the sense that these children, they're very adventurous. They can't wait to go out there and just try new things and have a good time. All right, are you adventurous? Do you like to explore and do new things? For me, I love to go and explore. I love nature a lot. So I can relate to what these children are saying. Next question. What are some of the activities the children hope to enjoy? What are some of the activities the children hope to enjoy? All right? Now we see that these children, what are they going to be doing? Playing in the fields and visiting the brooks are some of the activities the children hope to enjoy. Playing in the fields and visiting the brooks are some of the activities the children hope to enjoy. And I want you to notice something about the way these questions are answered. They're answered in a complete sentence. Now, there are some cases where you have to answer, your answer is going to be in a few sentences, but we must always remember to answer them in a complete manner. We don't just state the answer, playing in the field and visiting the brooks. No. The question needs to be answered in a complete sentence or incomplete sentences. Let's continue. Number 5. In what season will they return to school? In what season will they return to school? They will return to school in the fall. They will return to school in the fall, meaning they're going to return to school in the September. Number 6. What will be their mood when they return to school? What will be their mood when they return to school? They will be happy and excited when it's time to return to school. They will be happy and excited. And I have a question to ask. When it's time for you to return to school, are you happy and excited, or are you like, no, I didn't enjoy this vacation enough? You know, for some persons, it would vary. Some persons would say, yes, I'm happy to go back. And some persons would say, no, I'm now having fun. But for me, when I used to go to school, I always loved when it's time to go back to school to see my friends and my teachers. Number 7. What feeling do you have as you read the poem? While you are listening to me, and some of you who are reading along with me, what kind of feelings were evoked within you? Now, one thing I should mention is that this is not the ideal response, meaning what? This is a subjective question. Now, all of you might feel differently after hearing this poem and after reading it, but this is just one of the acceptable response. All right? It says, the poem makes me feel adventurous and happy for these children. I do hope they have a great vacation. The poem makes me feel adventurous and happy for these children. I do hope they have a great vacation. Number 8. Which bells are the children referring to in line 3 of the poem? Which bells are the children referring to in line 3 of the poem? Now, the bells the children are referring to in line 3 of the poem are the sounds of the water as it flows down the stream and the sound the wind makes between the trees in the forest. Now, I want you to think about if there was ever a time you visited the seawall, or if you had the opportunity to go a beach somewhere and you hear the water, how the water moves. It makes a sound. All right, unless the water is stagnant and still. If it's not stagnant, it makes a sound. So this song is referred to like a bell, like the same way your school bell would go and make that song, so you know, okay, it's either school is calling in or it's either break time, lunchtime, dismissal time. It's like the sound of the water by the stream. It's a calling to them for them to just go out and either play, bathe in the water, just be in that environment. And also we have the sound the wind makes. You know, as the wind go through the trees, the leaf would make this sound. So it's in this context. Number 9. Which line in the poem is repeated? And why does the poet use this repetition? Which line in the poem is repeated? Why does the poet use this repetition? Line 1 is repeated at line 7 and 12. The poet uses this repetition to place emphasis on how eager and excited the students are now that school is closing. Let's go back again. Line 1 is repeated at line 7 and 12. The poet uses this repetition to place emphasis on how eager and excited the students are now that school is closing. Now, I want you to always observe, anytime you see a poet or a writer continuously repeating something, they are conveying something specific. And it's your task to discover what they are conveying to you. And for the line, goodbye little desk at school, goodbye. So we see this line being repeated 3 times. And finally, question 10. Why do the children sigh? Why do the children sigh? Think about it. Why do these children sigh? Now, the children sigh because although they are excited that school is closing, they are also a little sad and will miss school and their friends. Similarly, when it is time for school to reopen, they will be happy to go back, but a little sad that their vacation is ending. So this is the size like, you know what? Imagine after spending 15 weeks at school, I'm just going to be at home. I'm going to miss my friends and my teacher. Do you miss school when school is out? And then it's going to be the reverse. When it's time to go back to school, they are going to be happy. There's going to be a little sadness in the sense that who I now get accustomed to being home and I have to go back to school. Now, I hope you would have enjoyed this activity. All right, boys and girls, I want to thank you for participating in today's lesson. I had a great time. I hope you had a great time too. And I want to remind you to take some time and dive into the world of poetry every day. Read a poem because poetry is fun. This is Sir Jared, and I'm out.